Did you hear the news recently that the Dow Jones, which is basically part of like the stock market, broke a new record this year? It actually went over 40,000, which is kind of crazy. I've been following the stock market since the late 90s, so this is really crazy to see how high it's gone. But today, gonna look at the stock market, give you an update here. We're gonna go through several of the indexes and just look at how it's doing year to date here in June. And also gonna look at a long picture and see maybe if we're in some kind of bull market or bear market. I'll talk about that a little bit too. So let's take a look here at the indexes and see what's happening. So first we have the Wilshire 5000. This is a index that represents the total US stock market. It's 5,000 stocks. So this is really your best gauge of how the market's doing in the United States. And it's up for the year to date, it's up 13.61%. So we're back here in beginning of January. Here we are today on June 17th, and definitely on an uptrend for the year. We can look at the last month, similar thing happening. And then let's go back 5 years. This goes back to 2021. So since the end of 2021, we're up since then. So that's the Wilshire 5000. Another big index here is the S&P 500. And year to date, this one is about the same. It's a little bit higher than the Wilshire 5000. It's up, what did that say? 14.75% for the year. So it's about 1% higher than the Wilshire 5000. We can go through the different time periods. Similar thing happened in the last 5 days, the last month, year to date. And then going back 5 years, it's doing a little bit better than the Wilshire over the last 5 years. These are, remember, the S&P 500 is large companies, 500 large companies in the United States. Look at that. For the last 5 years, it's up 90%. And then going back to 1960, kind of interesting. Back then, it was at about 100. Now it's at 5,473. Another index is the Dow Jones. For the year, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up almost 3%. So this is 30 stocks, 30 big stocks, kind of like 30 from the S&P. I don't know if they're all from the S&P 500, but some of them certainly are. And this is just 30 stocks that represent the market. It's really not as good of an indicator as the other indexes like the Wilshire 5000 and the S&P 500. So, but if we'll look through the stats here just to see, this is the one that was over 40,000. So let's look at that. So here, right around, where's that date? Right around May 17th, it was over 40,000. And we can go back 5 years, similar thing happening. And the Dow Jones since, was this, about 1992? It's up quite a bit since then. And the last one I want to look at here is the NASDAQ. This is kind of fun because, so the NASDAQ is representative of the tech sector, technology sector. So companies like Apple and Google and Meta. Those are all ones that would be in the NASDAQ index. So the tech sector for the year is up almost 19%. So did you catch that? Out of the 4 parts of the market we looked at, which one is the highest? Do you remember? It's this one, right? The NASDAQ is up almost 19%. And why is that? The NASDAQ is more volatile. That means it can kind of go up and down a lot more than the rest of the market. So if we've got some strong tech companies, like I don't know if you've been following the news with NVIDIA, that one has really been driving the market. So yeah, your tech companies can really go up and down a lot more. You usually take more risk with them because some of these tech companies don't make it. But let's look at how that one's doing here. So the last month, it's up a lot. Year to date, we looked at the last 5 years. Oh, look at that. So I think the S&P 500 was up about, was it like 95%? This one's up 130%. The last 5 years. It's kind of interesting. And then we can take the NASDAQ back to 1975. It's up 17,750, almost 18,000% since 1975. And here we are up here. So I know your question might have already been answered, but let me ask you, are we in a bull market? What does this look like? The last 5 years. We can take this back to, this is the S&P 500. Look at this. Since right here, what was this, 2009? We're up since then. We had this little dip here in 2020, one in 2022, but certainly way up from 2009. So this definitely looks like a bull market. Now, if we were right here, this would be like a bear market. If we were right here, it would be a bear market. But we're trending upwards right now. And I'm not recommending anything by saying this, like saying you should go buy some stocks now or anything. I'm just, and I can talk about that more in other videos about particular investments, but we're just looking here at the overall stock market. So, I'm going to put a few more videos down below about more stock market stuff if you want to take a look at that in the description box. Also, is there anything you want me to talk more about? Did you like this stock market update? Would you like more of these? Anything in particular you want me to talk about? Just leave a comment below and I will take a look at those. And we'll see you around.